I am never dropping acid again. So, after well over a whole year of anticipation and teasing, it is finally here. Marvel's next movie, Doctor Strange. This one is particularly fascinating because it's technically the first movie that incorporates magic into the MCU. Aside from this guy. See, while most of the superheroes in the MCU have been largely based in science fiction, this guy is largely based in fantasy, mysticism, and otherworldly realms and so on. He's the kind of character who I imagine was mostly popular in the 70s, and for fairly obvious reasons. The artwork in his comics are very psychedelic and very groovy and very trippy. And of course, rightfully so, because how else can you properly depict other strange realms and different dimensions and all sorts of different realities that could potentially exist all around us? But beautiful, pretty, trippy artwork aside, Doctor Strange is one of the more cool characters of the Marvel Universe, despite him having a backstory that's pretty similar to a couple of other Marvel characters, which, needless to say, is very well translated in this brand new movie. The story follows Dr. Stephen Strange, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, as an all-too-proud, pompous, pretentious neurosurgeon who is very good at what he does, but is of course very cocky and arrogant about it. But then his whole world gets turned upside down, see what I did there? After a massive car accident causes severe damage to his hands. He then spends his entire fortune looking for treatment upon treatment trying to save his hands, until he finally spends his last dollar on a plane ticket to the east, where he discovers an ancient mystical order led by a powerful sorcerer called the Ancient One, played by Tilda Swinton. And she teaches him the ways of the mystical arts, and in doing so, he learns humbleness and humility. And also in doing so, hears about a bad guy that he has to beat in order to save the world. You know, the usual superhero stuff. What I really like about Doctor Strange as a character is that he's yet another superhero who starts out with good intentions but is very rude and obnoxious and pompous about it, who then gets smacked across the face by reality and decides to redirect his life, to become more humble, to learn humility, and to do better with himself, thereby doing better by the world. And that is still present in this movie, but more on that in just a moment. Now, the movie is pretty good. The special effects are incredibly awesome, and the action scenes are totally fun and amazing to watch. It is an overall beautiful visual spectacle of a movie that is just not as good as I would like it to be. Now, hold your horses, don't panic. This is not a negative review. I don't dislike this movie in any way. I just wish it had a little more texture to it. See, while the visuals and special effects are a fantastic part of this film, it's sadly lacking in character development. Oh, it has some. There are certainly some there, but it's rushed so quickly and goes by so fast that it's almost moot. We don't really get to see the transition between him being a pompous ass and a humble hero. I mean, yeah, it is sort of there, but again, it goes by so quickly, if you blink, you'll miss it. Now, the good news is the rest of the movie is just good enough to make me forgive it for not being as deep a character piece as I would have liked it to be. And I'm not saying that it had to sacrifice the visuals and great action scenes in order to have proper character development. There's no reason it couldn't have both. I'm just saying I wish it had a better balance between the two. However, despite not being as deep a character piece as it should have been, Benedict Cumberbatch, of course, does a fantastic job playing the character. He has a really good amount of charisma for playing these kind of characters and for being in these kind of movies, and I really look forward to seeing him again in future installments. So my honest recommendation is, if you're in the mood for a brand new Doctor Strange movie that has really awesome visuals, but not so much in character, then I guess this is a good one to check out. However, if you are more interested in a Doctor Strange movie that has a better balance between the action and the character development, watch the animated film. It's actually really damn good. It's more or less the same kind of story, and it can very easily fit nicely into the MCU. Ladies and gentlemen, I am TheNorm, telling you what Hollywood doesn't want you to hear. Thank you for watching.